Hello everybody, welcome back to Life Stories. My name is Trent, and today, as per the old usual, we got more stories coming at you from Reddit/entitledparents. So grab some snacks, maybe a loved one, cuddle up, sit down, and let's get started now. Our first story is titled, Entitled Cousin Tries to Get Everything I Have, My Car, My Money, My Own Boyfriend, and My Entitled Aunt is Supporting Her. Yep, you heard that right. My entitled cousin, who we will call Faith, tried to take away everything I ever had. And she loves my entitled aunt, adores her so much that Faith would do anything to please her. She was very special, to say the least. My aunt adopted a girl who grew up to literally be like the mini version of my aunt. She was rude, mean, extremely demanding, and her favorite line was, "You can't hurt me, we are family." I never really paid attention to her, nor liked her at all. She was a spoiled brat. My cousin, I dubbed the Lucas, ignored her as well. Lucas was never neglected though, because our grandma was the one taking care of him the most, while our aunt, Brittany, because I hate that name, no offense to all the Brittnys out there, doted and adored her. Faith got poisoned by Aunt Brittany, and now there's no turning back. I made a story about my entitled aunt who treats me like a slave in another story. Not gonna lie, I wrote it badly. I'm surprised it got so much support. Thank you guys. Real quick, to clarify, my entitled aunt is Aunt Brittany. My entitled cousin is Faith. My best cousin ever is Lucas. And I'll go ahead and go by my username, CoolSharp, and my boyfriend, who will be called Thomas for this story. Let's begin. I was 17 at the time, and it was Christmas. I worked 2 part-time jobs in order to make my own money and be able to afford all the gifts I got from my family and boyfriend. We were all at my aunt's place for Christmas. Some days were good, and other days were bad. But it all got worse when my aunt adopted Faith. She hated me with a burning passion. First day I met her, I was cuddling with my boyfriend on the couch, and her, my aunt, my grandmother, and Lucas all came over for Thanksgiving, about 2 years ago. I stood up and greeted her all nicely, of course, saying, "Hello, I'm CoolSharp. You must be my new cousin." I tried to shake her hand, but she ignored me and glared at me. She just told me to not wear those disgusting rags and walked off. Now, Aunt Brittany spoiled Faith with literally everything. She got her first phone at 6, nearly every Barbie doll, expensive clothes, got her first credit card at the age of 10, and she didn't have to break a sweat. She's younger than I was, only by a year, but she tries to act so high up. Christmas was the best day. What better day than to spend time with your loved ones, excluding Faith and Aunt Brittany, and your own boyfriend? I pulled up into her driveway, my mother beside me in the passenger seat, and my father and boyfriend in the back seats of the car. I hopped out and grabbed the honey-roasted ham and locked up as everyone shuffled their way into the house. Grandma had her arms wide open, and Lucas was bugging me to hurry up. As I tried to catch up and not drop the ham, a high-pitched "ahem" caught my attention. This is the conversation that followed. "Oh, hey, Faith." Faith, eyeing me up and down multiple times, "Why are you in those rags?" Rags? Oh, you mean my new clothes. I tried to walk into the house because it was quite chilly, but she stopped me. "Listen, CoolSharp, my aunt told me since we're cousins, I get to have what you get." Me, dumbfounded. What? She's joking, right? Faith, now annoyed. "Well, duh, we're both girls, and out of us, I'm probably the best-looking one, so we should share. I can even give you tips on how you dress." I shuffled past her, jumping into the house because it was freezing. I gave the ham to my father and took off my jacket, hat, gloves, and boots. I hung up my car keys and went into the living room. A few hours passed. I, my boyfriend, and my family all sat down together, talking and chatting and just enjoying the time, until I heard a sudden screech coming from outside. I hopped up and sprinted, pushing the screen door, and I saw my aunt smugly watching as my cousin, Faith, tried to drive my car. I hopped out, not caring about the cold, and stormed up to my aunt. "What do you think you're doing?" I snapped at her, trying not to fume. Brittany, innocently talking, "Oh, well, Faith wanted to try and drive, so I told her to get your car keys and she can drive your car." Me, annoyed, "I never gave her permission. Now tell her to get out." "Oh, honey." I hate when she tries to act all sweet to me. You should share your stuff with her. It's just her by herself with her brother Lucas. I ignored her and stormed up to Faith. She drove off the driveway and into the snowy sidewalks and got my car stuck. I told her to get out of my car or else. She got out, looking smug as ever, and threw the keys at me. I didn't even like your trash car anyways, she said, and stormed off, complaining to Brittany that I wasn't being nice and that I was so rude to her. I huffed and called out for some help. Me and my family got my car unstuck, luckily, but what was beginning to piss me off was now she tried going after my boyfriend. She was standing close to him, laughing and smiling, playfully hitting him. Once he saw me, he got away from Faith and went straight towards me. I told Thomas to stay inside, and I confronted Faith. Me, now visibly angry, "What the hell do you think you're doing?" "Oh, I was talking to Thomas. He's so sweet, and I stopped her. Beyond angry. I'm very protective over my boyfriend, and I get jealous easily. Don't talk to him. Don't try and touch him. Don't stand near him. Got it? I was pissed. Faith, now giving me a smug look. And what are you going to do about it, Cool Sharp? Why did Thomas even choose you? You're a pig compared to me. Me, desperately trying not to scream. At least I don't squeal like one when I don't get my way. And I stormed away. Throughout my stay, over and over, Faith tried being and getting close to my boyfriend. And multiple times, she took my car without permission and drove it around. It was so incredibly frustrating. I was going to go out and get a few more presents in the stores. I grabbed my car keys and then looked into my wallet to try and see how much cash I saved up. It's empty. My wallet had no cash in it. Confused, I checked my pockets, my jacket pockets, and the inside of my bag, but still, no money. I asked my parents as to what happened to my money and my wallet, and they had no idea. I told them I somehow can't find my $200. A couple hours later, and my aunt and cousin walked in, holding bags of new clothes. I asked them when they got them and when they went out, and it was right around the time I was trying to go out and get the rest of the gifts. Faith was looking at me snootily, her nose pointed in the air, and she was grinning. Me, angry. Do you know what happened to my money? Ugh, no, Cool Sharp, but I did find $200, and it was so lucky of me. I decided to take my mother out for some shopping, and look at all the wonder— I cut her off, starting to feel my blood boil. Where was this $200 found? I was gritting my teeth. Why, I found it in a bag. I don't know whose it was, but it was sure a lucky find. As she made her way upstairs, I went after her, but my boyfriend stopped me. Let it go. She's just trying to get you to do something to her. He grabbed both my shoulders as I squirmed, wanting to fly up the stairs and literally sock my cousin in the face. Me, slightly yelling, I saved up that much money so I could buy the rest of the gifts. She went through my bag and took my money, and my aunt didn't even say a freaking word. I was shaking with how selfish and entitled she is. Just because she's getting everything from her mom, she ain't getting jack from me. Thomas hugged me and told me to relax, that it'll be okay and that I shouldn't be so upset. But oh, it got far, far worse. Ever since Faith took my cash, she's been deliberately trying to get me to give her everything. And when she doesn't get her way, she screams for her mother, saying, Cool Sharp isn't letting me have this, or Mom, she isn't sharing her car with me. Then, my parents would have to get involved and practically beat my aunt back to wherever she came from before Faith summoned her again. That Christmas week was the worst, and I still remember it. I had an entire headache the entire time. I bit my tongue every time Faith asked me something that she wanted. On the last day of that week, my parents and boyfriend all scurried into the car. I could tell they all hated the tension between me, my cousin, and my aunt. I was the last one, saying bye to my grandma. She was the sweetest thing during the time I was there. And Lucas, who instead of a cousin, I'd like to call brother. He was there for me too. I made my way out before my aunt tapped my shoulder. Aren't you going to say bye to me and your cousin? How rude are you? God, I'm so glad I'm not you, Faith said. Me, just wanting to leave. Okay, and I walked away. I heard them spit rude things at me, saying how Thomas won't stay with me, how ugly and fat I am, you know, the usual girl bullying type of thing. I was sitting in the back of the car with Thomas, as my dad was the only one driving this time. As we pulled away, I saw both Faith and Aunt Brittany glaring at me. That's when I rolled down my window and flipped them the bird, and we all drove home. Thank you for reading my story. I hope it's not too long, and I hope I didn't bore any of you. I'll never ever get how stupid my aunt is. And now that she has a mini-her, I gotta deal with her more. Thanks again for your reading, even if you didn't like it. Thanks for taking your time to read my second encounter with my aunt and her little devil child. Stay safe with this coronavirus. You as well, Cool Sharp. I hope you're doing great. And maybe try and keep some distance between your cousin and your aunt. Not exactly the best, but I hope your family's doing great. It was a good story, too. And with that particularly long one out of the way, we actually ran out of time, so I want to thank all of you for tuning in to another episode of Life Stories. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Reddit content coming your way. My name is Trent, and you know it. I hope to see you guys soon.